One of the great things about 401k retirement plans is that they are often portable when you leave a job. The question is, what do you do with them then? My guest is Michael Budnick, who practices in Burbank, California and Austin, Texas. So Michael, thanks for joining us today. I guess the obvious question is, should you move the money or should you keep it in the existing plan?
Yeah, really, I guess, again, every individual needs to be looked at, in their own personal situation. But I would tell you more times than not, it really will make a lot of sense to move that money into an individual, an IRA plan. And the reason for that predominantly is because with the 401k plan that they have through their employer, they have a menu of investment choices, which is usually limited. And with an IRA, with proper planning, they have access to the entire universe of mutual funds and other options, individual stocks and such. So it gives them the ability to really do a better job with those dollars. And if it's done properly, they can actually reduce their cost as well. And so there's a lot of logic in taking a look at that and really can help grow that asset, which is the end goal for that money in the first place. So let's be able to accomplish that. More growth and lower fees, is a real win-win situation for clients.
Well, this may seem like a dumb question, but can you explain why you shouldn't take a cash distribution here?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, prior to age 59 and a half, if you take those funds out of your 401k plan, obviously you're going to have a 10% IRS penalty, and also you're going to be paying ordinary income tax on that distribution. So you've really got a double hit. You've got your federal and state taxes if you're in a state that charges those taxes, plus you've got the 10% on top of that. So you could be looking as much as 40% or more of your asset just going to taxes and penalties. So it's really important to plan that out accordingly to make sure that you can reduce that tax burden on the other end when you do decide to take those dollars out and use them.
So again, when you're leaving a job, is it possible to roll it over into a new 401k plan?
Yeah, it really depends on the employer. There's a summary plan description that the employer has, and what they'll do is some employers will allow you to roll that money in or transfer that money in to the new employer. It really depends on the plan and the way the plan document is written, whether or not you can move that money into the new employer.
Well, finally, if an IRA is the choice, should it be traditional or a Roth?
Well, again, with an IRA, you have more options, meaning that, when you're planning, with a licensed fiduciary as an example, you have the options to be able to invest those dollars more fully to make sure you're really meeting your goals and objectives. And whether it's a traditional versus a Roth, that really, depends again on the goals of that individual in terms of what are they really wanting to accomplish with that money. There's no question that, one of the big plus points of the Roth IRA is that all the money grows on a tax-free basis, so there is no taxes due. And if you do proper planning and you convert some of that traditional IRA money over to a Roth in a year where you're in a low tax bracket, long term, looking out over 10, 15, 20 years or more, that could make a huge impact on how much more money you have in your pocket in the long run. So it can make a lot of sense. It really just depends on the individual.
All right, Michael, thank you for sharing your expertise with us today.
Thank you.
That's Michael Budnick. He practices in Burbank, California and Austin, Texas, and this is Retirement News Online. Thanks for watching.